can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
But speaking of animation and going back and watching stuff, do you guys think that they'll probably like redo some of the original Naruto animations? Like, you know how Dragon Ball got the Dragon Ball Z Kai and stuff like that? Would it be? You think it'd be smart for Naruto to do that?
If they did that, I watch the anime.
I'll rewatch it.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch it all over again because I like going back and watching it even without the animation being fixed.
I ain't gonna lie.
But like, do you think they should cut out the filler and stuff? Like,
fuck yeah, absolutely. I might make a review week by week if they do that. To be honest,
that'll be fire. That'll be fire. But I don't know. They probably won't though, bro. They probably won't. They so busy with Boruto. Unless Boruto go on some type of hiatus somehow.
Because this is what you gotta keep in mind too, right? Like when Boruto went into pre-production for the Academy arc, Naruto Shippuden was still on running. It was still on running. So I mean, the idea that they can't work on say Naruto Kai alongside Boruto, I'm not necessarily going to say that that's something that is impossible. You just have some of the higher level animators that have been with the Naruto franchise since the beginning. Go back and just focus on that. So yeah, with Boruto's production kind of suffer a little bit, but like when Naruto's running weekly, you know, the thing you have to keep in mind is that like they were pumping out those movies like crazy and they're still working on the anime. Now the anime suffered, and you know, you full of cap if you say that Naruto and Shippuden didn't have moments of bad animation, because like there are plenty of episodes where there's a shit ton of still frames where they just take and Bar, you edit, so you get it, where you take a screenshot and you just take the keys and you just start moving up and you zoom out and everything. Some of them Naruto episodes is doing shit like that. So I mean, you would see some of that stuff with Boruto, but I mean, it could be done. I mean, the franchise makes enough money where they could justify doing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like that. I think a lot of people like that, especially for the younger kids. Because I tweeted out a couple of days ago, my cousin just pulled up on me. You feel me? Like last week, he talking about he finished Boruto. Like he caught up to Boruto, so he trying to talk to me about Naruto's barrier mode, but he didn't finish Naruto Shippuden. I'm like, what are we doing here? You feel me? It make no sense.
Yo, hey, see, I don't know if you got into it with your subscribers yet. Like, I know for a fact I got subscribers that they're like, yeah, I just started with Boruto. Should I go back and check out Naruto? I'm like, yo, you can't, like you can't skip. You cannot skip Naruto because like they pay so many homages to part 1 of Naruto. If you skip that stuff, you're gonna be lost. That's why they gotta explain so much stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is how the Sharingan works. It's like, yo, I already know the Sharingan works, but you gotta remember, it's like, oh, this is. They know they got people
to a new crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly trying to like, all right, we all adults, so like when we watch it, like, you know, we was talking about it before, like Misky watching a cat. Man, I'm 30 years old. I ain't trying to watch. Well, I wasn't 30 at the time. I was like 27 or something like that. I'm 27 years old. I ain't trying to watch Misky watch no damn cat. I ain't watching this episode. So like, yeah, they trying to appease the kids, but now I think they trying to appease to the kids and
the more the adults
off on Naruto. Yeah, because they know that the adults is tuning into Boruto because this is Naruto's story and we grew up with Naruto, you know? So
well,
like,
yeah, I mean,
most of the people.
I was saying, yeah, if you even think about it, I mean, if you started watching Boruto at like age 14, now you about 17, 18 years old. You can't be watching some of the stuff that they was putting out back then. So of course they got to evolve with the times, even for the newer generation that hopped on with Boruto.
True, yeah, because they 5 years ahead now. Yeah.
And see, Kishi talked about that in 2016 too. You know, he said that he wanted to target a younger demographic with Boruto, and that the thing that he worried about with Naruto and Sasuke is that because of how strong they were, that the battles would be too big to get the kids involved, but the enemies are going to get stronger and stronger, and so the scope of the battles and the scales of the battles had to come down. That way the kids aren't completely left behind. But he said early on they're going to be focusing on reaching those kids, and now that we've had some time go by, it's no coincidence that when they jump to like Mujina and everything starts getting darker, like you saw this stuff on Twitter, people like, oh my god, he ate the brains. It's like, oh shit, you got no idea how dark this shit can get. Like,
exactly.
It's progressing.
Well, I ain't gonna, all that sound good, but I think the work really starts when we talk about anime only arcs. Now I think they did a very good job of introducing the Chunin exam. That's obviously going to gather a lot of eyes. But after we finish the Chunin exam, we obviously know they're probably going to introduce some more anime only arcs. How are those arcs going to do, and how are those arcs going to look? Are we going to go back to the kiddish ways, or are we going to keep this same vibe? I hope we keep the same vibe. But that's where the work really starts, in my opinion.
Yo, it was a writer for the Boruto anime, not the Honda dude, but it was another one. He liked and retweeted one of the staff members who was talking about. Let me see if I can pull up the tweet. Talking about the fact that they were saying that they're eventually going to have to start adapting some of those light novels, because like I talk about on the channel, I cover a lot of the novels. Like, it's a lot of stuff that the anime just backdoor references that I'm like, yo, this is from the Guard novel, or this is from the Sakura novel. Like, they reference so much stuff that they eventually gonna have to cover some of this shit, and like
that's what I was gonna ask when we was when I was about to say something. I just told Baara to go ahead, because Baara B, he never read any of the novels.
No, I ain't really.
Yo, it's a lot of stuff. Like in that Guard novel, like Guard Heathen, that's like after war. Like Guard's like, yo, it's shinobi like Rock Lee who are close to me in power, but it's also shinobi like Sakura whose power is on the same level as me, and they're not born from a prestigious clan. Like, that's adult Guard years after war saying Sakura without the Byakugo seals on the same level of power as him. Like, it's a lot of information. Like in the anime, when Shikadai was meeting with that advisor from the Nara clan, and he was talking to him, when Shikamaru was talking to that same advisor, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, people in the Sand Village feel like you stole the princess of the Sand Village. That's the whole subplot of the Guard Heathen novel, because it's people that was worried about Tamari marrying Shikamaru, because they felt like if Tamari married Shikamaru, that gave Konoha an advantage over the Sand Village, because Guard, Tamari, and the rest of them carry the Kekkei Genkai for magnet release. And they're saying, you're giving our Kekkei Genkai to the Hidden Leaf Village. You already got the Uchiha clan Kekkei Genkai, the Hyuga clan Kekkei Genkai. You're going to give them magnet release, and then that child will have right to become the next Kazekage, because the way the Sand Village does is they pass on the title Kazekage through the family bloodline. Yeah. And Guard doesn't have any children. Shinki's an adopted child. He's from the family, but he's adopted. Right. And so it's one of those things where, like, when they say you stole the princess of the Sand Village, it's because of that right there. It's because of that light novel. Like, it's a shit ton of lore in those novels, man.
It's a knife.